What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ghost. I'm coming to you from inside my truck. I'm dropping this video today to speak on relationships and trucking. And the subject of today is the three types of drivers. When you're getting into this industry, one thing you got to realize, there's three types of drivers that you can become, because I've been all three. You have the 9-to-5 driver, you have the over-the-road driver, and then you have the entrepreneur. Three different types of people. And they all, have the same role. They all drive trucks. They all have a purpose. But each one are very specific in what they do. And when it comes to a relationship, all three weigh heavy on a relationship, some more than others, but at the end of the day, they all, it's a sacrifice with no matter what. We're going to start with the 9-to-5 driver. The 9-to-5 driver is what you call the local man, the set schedule man, home every night. They have somewhat of a normal life. They get up at a certain time, they clock in, clock out, and that's their day. They get the same pay 365 days. It's kind of like, either an annual, it's not an annual salary. Some may be salary, some may not be. But we'll say if they're making $80,000 a year, they make $80,000 a year. They may work 8 hours, they may work 4 hours, they may work 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. Either way, they're home every single night, and they have a set schedule. They know what to expect the next day. So then we'll go to the over-the-road driver. The over-the-road driver could be company. He could be leasing or an owner-op, but he's an over-the-road driver. This over-the-road driver is gone all the time. An over-the-road driver can be gone 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, a few months. It really depends on that over-the-road driver situation, because every driver situation is different. There's so many variables. You have where they live, the type of company they work for, the type of commodity they haul. It all basically plays a part in, them being over the road. And it's a sacrifice. Most over-the-road drivers get paid by the mile. They get paid by the load. So for them, when the wheels ain't turning, they really ain't earning. And, which is why I say, with them being over the road, being gone, it's a job that somebody's got to do. And it weighs heavy. It weighs a little bit heavier on the relationship than the local guy. But at the end of the day, it still weighs heavy. It still plays a part in the relationship. The same with the 9-to-5 man. And then we're going to get to the entrepreneur. Now, your entrepreneur truck driver, this guy is either a fleet owner or an owner-op. And that could vary when it comes to owning a fleet. It's so many variables. The type of fleet that you own and the type of owner-op that you own really does not make a difference, because either way, you're still an owner-op or you're still a fleet owner. But the thing about that is, when you're an owner-op, it's just like being an over-the-road driver. Now, you can be going all the time. You could be a local owner-op where you have a normal life. It all depends on how it's set up. But when you're an entrepreneur, at the end of the day, this is the business that you're trying to create, and this is the business that you're doing. Now, there's owner-ops that, are the over-the-road owner-ops. They're going all the time, like I said before in the other one. They could be gone 2 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 days. It really depends on their situation. And the fleet owner, whether he drives, whether he doesn't, his job never ends. His job is 24/7. When his trucks are rolling, he's still working, because at the end of the day, you can get that call in the middle of the night talking about you had an issue, you had a situation, truck broke down, tire blew, anything. When it comes to the fleet owner, a fleet owner never sleeps. His job never ends. He's going to always be working. If his trucks are moving, guess what? He's on the clock. And when it comes to being in a relationship, you have to understand the type of driver that you're going to become when you get into this industry. Whether it's going to be the 9-to-5 driver, the over-the-road driver, the entrepreneur / owner op / fleet owner. You know, when I first got into this industry, I didn't understand none of that. I had to learn it through everything that I've been through. So, like I was telling my old lady, we sit down and we have these talks. We be having deep conversations, and we're both very open and honest with each other. And I asked her, have you ever been in a relationship with a truck driver? She said no. So I had to explain to her the differences between the types of truck drivers. Because, you know, going into this industry, I didn't have any videos to really teach me about relationships and truck drivers. I didn't have any of that. I had to learn that throughout the years, the different types of drivers. So it's like, when it really comes down to it, we're all drivers at the end of the day, but we all make different sacrifices. And going into this industry, you know, if you're in a relationship, it's just something to really think about is, okay, what type of driver am I going to become? And whichever type of driver that is, you got to sit down and talk to your old lady or your old man about, you know, what it takes to really become that type of driver. Now, whether they can respect it, whether they can handle it, I mean, that's truly up to, you know, the individuals. But at the end of the day, the entrepreneur, basically, you got to realize that being an entrepreneur in this industry, you got to make sacrifices. A long time ago, when I was at FedEx, one of the contractors there, me and him were like just sitting up there chopping it up, because he was telling me about how he liked my Range Rover. And I was telling him about, you know, being married and everything else. And he told me, because I asked him, I was like, hey, what do I have to do to own all these trucks? And he told me, you got to marry the business. Because he's like, at the end of the day, he's like, I've been married for like 25 years. And he's like, I told my old lady going into this, when we first decided to get into this business, is, look, I'm going to basically be running this company, running this show, running these trucks. And he's like, look, you're either going to be down with me and be down for everything that we about to endure, or you can kick rocks. Because he's like, the business has to come first, because that's what keeps us afloat. That's what keeps a roof over our head. And he's like, we got a good understanding of that. And he's like, if you're not willing to put your company and what your goal and your dream first, nothing's going to last. He's like, your relationship will be going at the end of the day. But when it's all said and done, he's like, would you rather lose a relationship, or would you rather lose a dream and the way that you feed and support yourself? And he's like, think about that. And he's like, when you really think about it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Because at the time, I was like, nah, I'm not going to put the business first. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And then, you know, life happened for me, and then it really set me down and made me think, like, damn, that man made he spoke a lot of truth back then. And I still talk to him to this day. I'm actually really good friends with his son. And I sat down and, like, I really thought about it, and I'm like, damn, you know what? That's true. That's very true. When it comes to, if you're going to be an entrepreneur in this business, you really have to put it first. That's the only way that you're going to really get to that end goal that you're trying to meet. Now, when it really comes to people and relationships, at the end of the day, people come and go. People are going to come and go out of your life until you die. And it's like, it's only the ones that stick or the ones that are meant to be there. Anybody else that decides to just up and leave, just let them go. It's not even worth the time, the energy, or the effort. You know, you got to have complete peace in your life if you want to be that entrepreneur truck driver, because you're going to get hit with so much evil in the world. And if you have a woman that's in your corner that's able to bring you peace and no drama, then that's a woman that's worth holding on to. Now, if you have a woman that brings all sorts of drama in your life when you first meet or whatever, that's not somebody to hold on to, because that type of energy is going to carry with you throughout your whole relationship until that person decides to change. So, and that's something I had to learn as well. You know, you are what you bring into the relationship. So if you bring peace, then that's what you're going to continue to have. But if you bring drama and you don't nip it in the butt, it's going to be a revolving door. And when it comes to being that entrepreneur, you can't have that in your life, because you're going to get hit with so much negativity and evil just from the energy from the outside of just running this company or running a trucking business. You don't need any more negative vibes or anything like that. So you got to protect your peace at all times. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helped, you know, some people coming into this industry and what to expect when it comes to the type of drivers that you're going to encounter. So with that being said, love, peace, prosperity, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Deuces.